like improv from a character roleplay perspective. Well, okay, well make every NPC a robot. Make sure that you're running a game or a one shot or a concept that basically takes a lot of that creative communication out of it, and just you can give yourself 50 lines that they repeat and that they choose from in different configurations. You can lean into the stray but D&D, right? Oh, well, with such a respectful question, how could I not answer? It's a good question. And the reason I'm thinking is because I think the correct but also sort of lazy answer is uh practice makes perfect. That doesn't really help for that person though. I think that there's a way to play as a new dungeon master. There's a way to play the game that allows you to sort of distance yourself from the characters that you control. And there are probably some tools that you can employ, and I'm sure different games offer these in different ways. I mean, there's so many different tabletop games. I'm sure there's stuff like this. But the same way that I would advise a new player, hey, you don't have to speak in first person. You can say, my character does this, or your character name does this, and you can distance yourself. Sometimes that's a little bit safer for people to do, feel safer. In a similar way, I think you can do that with the characters that a DM controls. Maybe you can even take it a step further and sort of describe the scene, describe the reaction of these characters, and if something is calling for improv, if you're not exactly sure what happens or what that person says, I wonder if there's a way to even like toss it to the table. I wonder if there's a way to say like, okay, so you say that, and it's like, well, the mayor is considering what you said, but ooh, I'm not even sure what they would say to that. What do you guys think? And maybe turn it to the other players. Maybe you can get some assistance from the other players at the table. Now, in some ways, it's playing on shaky ground because depending on the other players, they may see that as like, well, if you don't know what they say, well, we just make it all up, blah blah blah. But yeah, I think that there's a way to do that. I think that you can also probably devise yourself a type of game that avoids some of that. like improv from a character roleplay perspective. Well, okay, well make every NPC a robot. Make sure that you're running a game or a one shot or a concept that basically takes a lot of that creative communication out of it, and just you can give yourself 50 lines that they repeat and that they choose from in different configurations. You can lean into the stray but D&D, right? That's a good way to describe it. If it's improv in how the world responds or what to do because they went through the door, I didn't think they'd go through that door. That one's a little bit easier, I think, because you can sort of set the constraints of the game. And if anybody sort of goes out of bounds or strays too far away, you can say, hey, listen, the game's over here. But I mean, I do think like it feels easy, but I do feel like it's just one of those things. It's practice, practice, practice. Watch the King's Speech. um, believe in yourself. Public speaking is hard, but it's also, it can be a really valuable way to learn to kind of command the table or to speak in front of people, because once a game starts, like you'll feel it, I think, as a new dungeon master, that the table is sort of relying on you to keep the game going. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of energy behind all of that, and sometimes that'll help. And if not, maybe fall back on the types of D&D that allow everybody to collaborate without without it all being on you. Pressure, absolutely. I'm a lot less familiar with the types of. I feel like Undersampled in the community, he does games like this, or that are more like collaborative storytelling type of thing. I think a lot of those techniques could work if somebody's like kind of really anxious about doing it, because the important thing is just to whatever type of game works at the table, just play the game, play it with people, have those experiences. You can always experiment with new flavors of D&D, I think. Good question. Deceptively tricky question. Go back to high school, take speech class. No, that's not. That's a mostly a joke answer, but